If it's one thing I've learned in my short 38 years on this planet, it's that nostalgia is a drug with power best described as Viltrumite booger sugar. So unless you're prepared to relapse, don't watch this clip.
The silent cartographer is somewhere under this island. The cartographer is a map room that will lead us to Halo's control center.
And I know what you guys are probably thinking. Your eyes must be on the fritz. They must be deceiving you, but they're not. That is Halo CE remade in Unreal Engine 5. Now, I got invited out by Xbox to meet the team heading the development of this remake and go over the notes of what to expect, and then ultimately go hands-on with the game for about 45 minutes, all of which we were able to capture footage of, which we'll be showing the bulk of during this video. And it was a pretty quick trip. I was only in Seattle for a single day, but from what I gathered during my time there with the devs and a few debriefs with other creators that got to go hands-on with the game, I got a pretty firm grasp of what players can expect when the game inevitably drops. But before we get started, if you guys are new to my channel, I go by Insight and I cover gaming news and reviews along with a plethora of other styles of content while also maintaining a busy life in the Air Force. So thank you guys for watching my video. It means a lot to me. But anyways, let's get to it. Now, the mission we got to play was the Silent Cartographer, a mission that every Halo fan can and should be able to recall, and right out of the gate, the game was night and day difference from the slipspace engine that Halo Infinite was built in. And from what I gathered and what was conveyed to us from the team is that there is nothing in this remake that was untouched. The cutscenes, the sound effects, the music, even the voice actors Steve Downes and Jen Taylor for Chief and Cortana came back to re-record their voice lines. But with all the oohs and ahs and amazing glaze aside, what was it actually like to play Halo in Unreal Engine 5? And I can't even lie, guys, it was sick. And I think what stood out to me the most was the visuals from the plasma of all the Covenant weapons, the greens and the blues splashing around. It was gamer eye candy how cool it all looked. But one thing I absolutely loved was how every weapon felt viable to use. And there was also some subtleties that I noticed. When the Chief's shield would recharge, you would see a small wave pass over his visor, and all of those small details being so fleshed out made the entire picture more impressive. I mean, it was already impressive seeing Halo in Unreal Engine 5, but noticing all the little details really brought it home. Now, one thing I do want to get into is that I am a sucker for good graphics. I like my games to look good, but never at the sacrifice of gameplay and story. And luckily, the story is already written and the gameplay felt like what I remembered, with a few modern quality of life changes, which I'm going to confirm the rumors right now. Yes, they added a sprint mechanic to the game, but before you all grab your pitchforks and torches, I'm going to tell you right now, everybody who played it liked it. It's a modern day mechanic and it just makes the game's pace work a lot better than you would think. But if for some reason that has you pulling your hair out, you're really not going to like what I have to say next, because they also confirmed that you'll be able to hijack vehicles in this game. So yes, they did make the decision to add some quality of life changes, but I think these are small in scope and actually make the game better in a modern age of gaming. Now, as for the rest of the level of the Silent Cartographer, it played out how it's always played out. I got to fight a couple hunters in a few locations. I got the rocket launcher. I did some more donuts in the Warthog, and the small demo ended just before fighting the Yellow Elite with the sword. Yep, you heard that correctly. I was blue-balled pretty good, and I was even saving a rocket for the reunion between that golden elite and I, but alas, it was for naught. Now, besides getting hands-on with the game, they also shared a wealth of knowledge of what is coming to the game that they're most excited about, so I also want to share that with you, and this comes straight from the executive producer and game designer themselves. Starting off with what I think is the most exciting thing coming to this remake, there will be 3 new fully fleshed out missions focused on Sergeant Johnson and Master Chief working side by side, and these new missions can be expected to last about as long as a traditional level inside of Halo already. And along with the story expansion, we're also getting 8 or 9 weapons added to Halo CE. And as I understand it, these already exist in the Halo universe, but now they can be used in this game specifically. Some examples they gave were the energy sword, the fuel rod cannon, and the sentinel beam, but your guess is as good as mine as to what the other weapons are they're adding. But there was something that I found ultra exciting, and I think it's something that any Halo fan would be geeked to hear about. And it was a segment where they spoke on how they rebuilt the Flood. They spoke on how UE5 is an awesome tool to make environments, and they were able to take levels like 343 Guilty Spark and make it almost a horror game with how dark and how sick all of the flood overgrowth has been made to look. But not only did they go into how much more immersive the levels with the flood will be, they also mentioned how much more menacing and terrifying the encounters will be, as well as dispatching the flood, because now they will have full body dismemberment when taking damage from your weapons. And that's exciting for a ton of different reasons, but the one I want to hit home is that a lot of people don't know that the flood levels in the original Halo were rushed out to meet a deadline. So what people got was not completely what the devs wanted it to be. So the fact that they took care to shift the immersion and take it to a darker, scarier experience has me really excited. Now I'm going to speed run some information for you guys, so try to keep up. For this remake, it will support 2-player split screen, so if you and a friend want to play a game in classic couch co-op, you can do that, or you can play up to 4 players online. They even added a seat to the Warthog at the back end they're calling the golf cart seat, so everyone can ride in the same vehicle. It will also support full crossplay and cross progression from PS5 to Xbox and PC, so if you do anything on one system and you happen to have the game elsewhere, everything transfers. I also didn't get a definitive yes for having haptics for PS5 controllers, so for now I'm going to say no on that being a feature. And they also did mention that this Halo will have the most skulls of any Halo ever, so people who are gluttons for pain or just like challenge runs, you're probably going to rejoice at that. Now, the only caveat that I can think of for this game is that there's not going to be any multiplayer of any kind. And to me, that feels like a pretty big miss. I know that as soon as I was invited to this event, all I could think about was having a Halo LAN party at my house and eliminating all my friends in 4K. But it was made pretty clear that that was not going to happen. So that's a shame. Now, unfortunately, I have no idea what they're going to charge for this game at this time. I do remember at one point asking them what they think it would cost and if they were going to do like a legendary or collector's edition, something of that sort. But they said that they really just don't know at this time, and that their main focus is just finishing the game and making sure it's the best possible product for the customers. But knowing everything that I do know at this point, honestly, this seems like a perfect game priced at $40, you know, not having multiplayer and stuff like that. I think once you get to $50 or $60, or even, God forbid, a full price $70 for this title, I think that's going to be a big uproar for a lot of the fans. They said that their main goal was to give some nostalgia for existing fans and also create something to create new fans. And with the Oblivion remaster being priced, I think was at $50. That was an awesome remaster, you know? So even this being a remake, I still think that $40 or $50 is the perfect price for a game being almost 25 years old. I'm pretty positive. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to yap about this a little bit. I had a crazy opportunity to look under the hood of a game I remember playing the demo for at my local Babbage's back in 2001, thinking to myself, damn, this game's kind of cool. But you guys let me know what you think. I'm excited for this game, but does it look like something that you would pick up? Do you have a friend in mind that you would want to run through the campaign with? Do you think that it would be priced fairly at $40, or would you still cop it at $50 and $60? I'm actually really curious about that, what you think the price of a remake like this should be. But I guess I'll catch you guys on the next one. Let me know if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And that's all I got. Peace.